All right. And I think the last thing we're going to talk about tonight is to preview for the U.S. Open, man, for golf. This is a thing for me that, on Father's Day, early on, my dad and I used to just watch this on Sunday, the U.S. Open, the last holes. It was fun. We didn't even get to watch like the Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. We just watched Sunday. We just had a good time. We played cards. That's the vibe I get. I mean, if you watch the Masters episode, you know me. I'm very casual with golf. I know very little. Whatever this guy tells me is what I know about golf, and I'm gonna have this guy tell the rest of you what to look for in the U.S. Open, man. So, yeah, what should we look for? Who's gonna
All
win?
right,
Tell me everything. Break it down.
for sure. U.S. Open coming up this week. Very exciting. It's playing at Torrey Pines this week in San Diego. Got your West Coast repping as always. They're playing on the South Course this week. Quite a long course. I think it was 7,700 yards, something there. So quite a long course. As always, U.S. Opens, they're rough. It's going to be insanely tough. You don't want to hit it. You don't want your ball to stray out from the fairway. That's going to be really difficult for you to post a low score. But I think it's going to be a really interesting week. I feel like there's a lot of movement, like top players. When you really think about it, like you got Dustin Johnson or Justin Thomas. Those guys haven't been playing as well as recently as you would think. I feel like Dustin hasn't been playing well for quite a while now. And Justin
Yeah.
Thomas, since that Players Championship win, he hasn't really been playing well either. So, guys I've been looking at, one right now, the betting favorite actually is Jon Rahm from Spain. So Guy was actually, if you all didn't hear this is big news in golf. 2 weeks ago, they were playing the Memorial Tournament. So that's Jack Nicklaus's home tournament in Ohio. And Rahm was leading after the third round by 6 strokes. And the most unfortunate news happened after finishing the round. He was on the 18th green, and the tour team doctor told Rahm that he had tested positive for COVID-19. So Jon Rahm was forced to withdraw as the leader by 6 strokes in a tournament that had one more day to go. So that was devastating for him. And he was asymptomatic, but he tested positive. So, as per PGA Tour rules, you had to withdraw, which was really unfortunate, but it had to happen. And so, good thing is he's, tested negative twice in a 24-hour span. So he's back on practicing this week. So that's why he is considered the favorite this week. He's been playing unbelievably well. He absolutely scorched earth on Saturday at Muirfield. So that was 2 weeks ago at Jack Nicklaus's tournament. We're looking at him as, one of the favorites because he won at Torrey Pines in 2017 as well. And his game is just real dialed in. So that's one player to definitely watch out for. Another player I'm gonna put out there is his name is Xander Schauffele. He's a hometown guy. So grew up in San Diego. High school he played at Torrey Pines a lot. He said like he and the friends they always try to emulate like Tiger in 2008 when he chipped in. That was like one of the best golf shots you could see. He's been familiar with the course in the area, and so he's definitely had a good chance. Consistently, the guy that finished second or third in tournaments in majors, so he's a really solid player, but just doesn't seem to get it over the hump. And so we're looking at him maybe to break through this week, maybe, just maybe. So that'd be great. Let's see, we got Patrick Reed. That's someone that it's a controversial name in golf. I feel like a lot of people have mixed opinions about him, but you can't lie about how good and consistent he is. He won this year's Farmers Insurance. So in February, they played at Torrey Pines, and he won that tournament by 5 strokes. So he's coming in actually doing quite well. He's he's top 3 in strokes gained putting. So he's definitely putting the hell out of the ball right now. He's doing really good. And so he definitely has a good chance as anybody. Final two names I'll mention before I mention, the one that everyone wants to hear about. Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. These two guys, they've had a feud recently, just about like stuff happening after PGA Championship. And so, but these two guys are, somewhat betting like favorites, somewhat, guys are like, okay, they always have a chance to win because, Brooks finished second at the PGA Championship. Bryson's obviously defending champion at the US Open. And so, these guys have a good chance as anybody. I feel like Bryson this week, it's like the Bryson check. If he can hit the fairways, he'll be in for a great championship. If he cannot hit the fairways, he'll be in for a lot of trouble. I think I said this during the Masters as well, but this course plays longer. So if you can actually hit the fairways, it plays a huge advantage for you. But if you hit the rough, the US Open has the worst rough of any major championship. It's known for that. And so like you literally cannot hit the ball anywhere if you land in the rough. So watch out for that. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. And for Brooks, of course, just play your game, play solid. I can't say too much more about. So the big name, the name that everyone wants to hear, Phil Mickelson, the guy who just won the PGA Championship, the guy who, he's won all these majors. He's won 6 majors, hasn't gotten his hand ever on a US Open trophy. Will he finally break through at his hometown of San Diego? Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's a we'll see kind of thing. I would bet against him because he is 50 years old. He he didn't really have a great track record. He finished 34th at the Masters, obviously won the PGA Championship, but that was no one saw that. It was out of blue kind of thing that he won that championship. And does lightning strike twice at the same spot? Maybe it strikes, more when you're at home, maybe. But there are advantages to his game, and I think he knows the course very well. He said he came here earlier than many of the other players to really like scout out and make sure that he knows the course well. And his game in some ways works well for Torrey Pines. It's just that does he have that game to put it together again for 4 days straight in a major championship under the pressure of the bright lights, because he's choked more than once in the US Open. And but you know what, if he could win, I'd be more than happy. I'd be really happy for Phil because he's such a good guy. And I feel like he's deserving of a US Open, but at this stage of his career, it's just so hard to bet on Phil when you have so many other great players contending in this championship. So yeah, everyone tune in Thursday through Sunday this week, and you'll be in for an exciting 4 days of golf.
All right. I will say, so we're talking about Bryson DeChambeau earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
With the Masters, talking about how he's got a big arm. He's just, got power. He can drive far. So because Torrey Pines is longer, do you think like that would be the advantage, is the fact that because he can go so much farther on these drives that he can just shorter amount of distance from, let's say, tee to, well, it's the same distance. I don't know golf lingo, man, but like from the first stroke, it's the shorter distance from the first stroke to the hole than these other players because of his big arm.
Right, exactly. That's how he separates his advantage. Like par fives, right? He has that ability to hit the green in 2 strokes and then putt for eagle potentially every single par 5. That's his goal. Par 4, sometimes he can try to drive to the green and then go for eagles again. So he's basically shortening the course so much that he's always got this opportunity to post low scores. However, again, as I mentioned, if he can't hit straight, which is a big if, because Torrey Pines is by the Pacific Ocean, which means winds are going to be, swirling by some of these days. Your ball is going to be in the rough, which is, again, to give a little bit context about US Open rough, it's about, I'd say about like almost a foot high, and it's dense as hell. It's so freaking dense. Like your ball, sometimes you can't even see it, and it's like buried into there. And so when you try to hit a club out, your club literally gets stuck by all the blades of grass, and your ball literally just like you can basically plop it onto the fairway. That's the best thing you can do. It's that difficult, but we'll see what Bryson does. Just gotta avoid the roughs. That's all I have to say.
And like with Rahm, the first guy we're talking about, the
Yeah.
favorite, right? What his game is like geared that to give him an advantage here? Is there like a specific aspect of his game that like really stand out as
Sure.
like recently why he's doing so well?
Sure. I think just overall, his overall game's been really solid, but I feel like his tee to green, so from the tee to the green, that portion of his game has been really solid. Particularly when you saw it 2 weeks ago, he was really dialed in, and he left most of his balls extremely close to the pin, enough that he had very, very ample chances to get low scores. That's like the most important thing for him. And like that means he's not missing too much. He's not going having stray balls everywhere. And then the good thing about John also is that he's one of the best putters on tour. He is a very creative mind and a guy that can read like any kind of putt. And Torrey isn't the hardest putting course, in major championships, but having a being a great putter, and like actually like reading those lines and being able to do that, that's always an advantage to have. And so that he has that in his pocket alongside with a currently dialed in game. That's why he's considered a favorite.
And I mean, like with the wind, you can take every, I mean, the wind is probably going to affect more the drivers and the irons than like the putting, but the wind could still have a huge effect just throughout. So it's important to have that, I guess, stability and that accuracy.
Absolutely. Mhm.
I got nothing to add, man. So I'm gonna look out. So we got, just to recap the names, we got Rahm, we got Reed, we got Koepka, DeChambeau, Mickelson. There was a name. There was it. The guys that were emulating Tiger. What were you talking about, man?
Xander Schauffele, that's his name.
Sanders, Schauffele. So we got those guys. All right, we're looking out for them. Uh, yeah. So, hey, you got anything else you want to add about that, man?
That's about it. I mean, just as a golf fan, I feel like even if you aren't a golf fan, it's always worth a while to just drop by and take a watch at what the U.S. Open is, because Torrey Pines is a beautiful course. It's right by ocean. It's got sweeping views. It's one of the most beautiful courses you can play at, and it's a public course. So one day if you feel like it looks really cool, you can actually go there and play. Like it's not like restricted or anything. You can just go, pay your green fee and go play at the course where everyone played at, the pros did. So
Those green fees are probably like ridiculous, though,
probably not cheap. Probably not too cheap.
man. All right. So I think that's it. That's it for us tonight. See you guys later on. So yeah, have fun, guys.
Yeah.
All right, and
All
see
right.
you later, Franklin.
Have a good week, everybody.